Did you know that you can upgrade your inner way very quickly, even if you've only been playing for 1 or 2 weeks? Tier 4 is the sweet spot, and if you build it correctly, it can significantly boost your character performance. But let's be honest, when you first open the inner way menu, it looks confusing and overwhelming. Welcome to the Meta Instinct channel. In today's video, I'll walk you through the fundamentals of inner way, including the quality and path, how to comprehend and break through, and how to properly use tips exchange and conversion. Don't worry, I'll keep everything practical and straightforward so you can understand it quickly. And if you already know some of the basics, feel free to skip to the chapters you need. Now let's get started. Fundamental. If you're new to the game, it's completely normal to feel bombarded by too many systems at once. Martial arts, inner way, mythic skills, and more all unlock very quickly. Here's an easy way to think about it. Martial arts are weapon-based skills that are tied to specific weapons. For example, you must equip a rope dart to use Rodent Rampage. Mythic skills, on the other hand, are active skills that you manually cast by pressing a button. They don't require a weapon, but most of them consume vitality when used. Inner way is different. Inner way provides passive buffs that enhance your character automatically. You don't need to activate anything, and the effects trigger when certain conditions are met. For example, the breaking point inner way grants disintegration stacks when you hit an exhausted target. Each stack adds physical penetration and critical damage, which significantly boosts your damage output when hitting an exhausted target. Out of the 37 inner ways currently in the game, you can only equip 4 at a time. They come in 3 qualities: blue, purple, and gold. Blue inner ways are easier to obtain, while gold inner ways are much harder to upgrade. In theory, gold and purple inner ways usually perform better than blue ones, simply because the game follows the logic that harder to obtain items are stronger. Just like gear, we aim for gold gear instead of blue. However, that doesn't mean you should blindly pick gold inner ways. Quality is essential, but suitability matters more. Choosing the wrong inner way can weaken your build. For example, Echoes of Oblivion is a powerful gold inner way designed specifically for dual blades in the bamboo cut wind path. If you're using Nameless Sword and Spear, this inner way doesn't fit your build, even though it's gold. Before going any further, we need to understand paths. There are currently 12 martial arts in the game, each with a small icon representing its path. It's highly recommended to pick 2 martial arts from the same path, because the developer designed them to synergize effectively. Technically, you can mix martial arts from different paths, like combining twin blades with Nameless Spear, but performance becomes unpredictable because you now need to carefully align attributes, talents, and the inner way to make it work. So for most players, especially early on, sticking to a single path build is the safest and most effective option. Inner ways are also categorized by path, just as martial arts are. You can see the path icon underneath each inner way. There are 6 paths in total, plus a general category that can be used by any path. Each path contains 4 inner ways, while the general category has 13. Path-specific inner ways are always recommended by the path guide. However, you can always make some tweaks if you deem it is better. For example, in the bamboo cut wind build, the recommended inner ways are Echoes of Oblivion, Vendetta, Breaking Point, and Riptide Reflex. The first 2 are mandatory because they directly support dual blades and rope dart. Breaking Point is also excellent because it enhances damage against exhausted targets. However, Riptide Reflex doesn't contribute much to the build. So instead, I replace it with Morale Chant from the general category. If you want to see the full dual blades build in detail, I've covered it in another video. The link is in the description. Because inner way materials are limited, you won't have enough resources to upgrade everything. Before you start upgrading, you must decide on your path first, then focus all your resources on just 4 inner ways. Ignore the rest for now. Don't stress too much about making the perfect choice. You can always fix mistakes later using tips exchange and conversion. If you're buying bundles and where wins me, you might be overpaying. The same bundle costs different prices in different countries. A $100 bundle can cost more in some regions, but much less in others such as Japan. Taking advantage of these regional prices on your own is complicated and risky, but Lootify can handle everything for you. With Lootify, a $100 bundle can cost as low as $78 for the first-time customer. Click the link in the description and start saving today with Lootify. Comprehend and Breakthrough. Upgrading inner way consists of 2 processes, comprehend and breakthrough. To use an inner way, you must first unlock it, which the game calls comprehend. Once it's unlocked, you can then upgrade it through breakthrough, up to 6 tiers. To comprehend an inner way, you need to follow its clue. For example, Sword Horizon's clue tells us to look for Inai Lao Shan in the Ghostlight Market. Ghostlight Market is an underground area that you can gain access to through the coffin shop in Kaifeng City. Inai Lao Shan is the bookstore owner who hangs upside down from the ceiling, so make sure to look up when you enter the shop. You'll need to buy multiple copies of the Unknown Old Book until you collect 10 fragments to comprehend Sword Horizon. Each book costs 12,500 coins, and the drop rate is relatively low. Realistically, you'll probably spend over 300,000 coins just to unlock this inner way. It's an expensive inner way to comprehend. After that, you'll need inner way notes to upgrade it. These mostly come from inner way note chests, either random chests that cover all paths or custom chests that focus on one path plus the general category. There are many ways to obtain these chests, and I'll cover them in detail in the next video, so stay tuned. Tier 4 is the sweet spot for most inner ways, which take 100 notes. Tiers 5 and 6 require 200 and 400 notes, respectively, and those will take much longer to reach. Tips exchange. Upgrading inner way can feel frustrating because we can't directly target the notes we want. For example, I once opened 8 custom chests and only got 1 usable note. Fortunately, we can recycle unwanted notes through tips exchange. By recycling them into book plates, we can exchange those book plates for new chests. In the tips exchange menu, click Obtain Book Tokens. Lock the notes you want to keep so they won't be recycled by mistake. Then use Auto Add to select all unwanted notes. Once confirmed, you'll receive book plates as stated here. After that, go to Tips Exchange and select the chests you want. Gold chests are custom note chests and refresh weekly with 600 available. Purple chests are path-specific and do not refresh. You'll repeat this cycle of opening chests, recycling notes, and exchanging book plates until the stock runs out. This is the fastest way to accumulate the notes you need for breakthroughs. Some people ask whether notes are lost during recycling. There's no clear answer. Higher quality notes give you more book plates when recycled, like Echoes of Oblivion, which yields 15. Also, general inner way notes will give you fewer book plates when recycled, as the Morale Chant note will only give you 10. Although Echoes of Oblivion and Morale Chant are the same gold quality, the game treats Morale Chant as lower value because it is from the general category. Since the note quality and path are uncertain, the process could yield a net gain or a net loss, depending on your luck. But that's not important, you do what you can. Conversion. Conversion is something you won't use often. It's mainly for when you want to switch paths, or when you invest heavily into the wrong inner way and want to fix it. Conversion lets you transfer notes directly from one inner way to another, without dealing with the randomness of tips exchange. It only works within the same quality, meaning gold to gold or purple to purple. Keep in mind that the general category inner ways has a lower value. If you convert from a general inner way like Morale Chant to a path-specific one like Echoes of Oblivion, you'll lose 1 note. If the values are equal, the conversion is 1-to-1. Before converting, always reset and recycle the target inner way first. For example, I want to convert Breaking Point to Battle Anthem. Battle Anthem is currently at Tier 1, equivalent to 10 notes. If I convert it immediately, I will get 133 Battle Anthem, which is what I want. But I also get 10 Breaking Point notes, which I don't want. These notes will be frozen for 7 days, which I can't recycle them. So always reset and recycle the target inner way before converting. Be very careful here. Reset and recycle the inner way in the right column, not the left one. Resetting the wrong one is a costly mistake. Alright, it is the end of the sharing today. In the next video, I will cover all methods of getting the inner way note chests in detail. I'm Alan from Meta Instincts. See you soon.